Okay, I'll admit I'm slightly nervous. Being first review and all. Look, honestly, if you want to skip to the actual review, I'll place a time code there. If you just want to get straight into the discussion of Avengers, I'm more than happy to do that. Just, yeah, timestamp. I hope I put it there. Alright, I'll be very honest, I'm super nervous. Not because I haven't been in front of the camera before, it's just more or less the fact that I've never done a review. My doggo! That's what I need. Maybe I'll just have my dog in the frame. And like, okay, stop. I'm gonna have to talk. You're gonna have to stop. No. Okay, no. I really wanted to start my reviews with this film because I think it's a good example of what I like. How it's gonna show exactly what I think of films. I love my superhero films. I love my blockbuster films. I love movies. I do. But I also am a film lover as well. Sometimes there's a distinction. Sometimes that distinction's not really clear. But Avengers: Infinity War, I think it represents. No other film like this exists. Nothing. No other film like this exists. Sometimes there's a lot of people like to distinct films and movies. They're two different things. Okay, fine. The Avengers films, all the MCU movies, they're just movies. That's a very popular opinion. I try to walk the line between the two. Like, there's merits for both. Because when the distinction is made between a movie and a film, you're kind of classing it like as if they're two different. And that could be a good thing, a bad thing. For example, you can just literally Google it. There are so many negative articles on the fluffy, money-making movies that is MCU. You can go down that rabbit hole and find all the negative things about a movie. What I want to do here in this channel, and kind of why I'm doing these thoughts on Infinity War, is because I want to show you that it sucks focusing on the negative things. Yes, Marvel's a business. Marvel needs to make movies. That's why they brought all these characters together, spent as much money as they have on this film, and now grossed as much money as they have now. But doesn't take away from the fact that this is an exceptionally good film. Avengers: Infinity War, the grand finale of the first saga in the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We have about over a dozen films already. The Captain America trilogy, Thor, Guardians of the Galaxy. It's all led up to here. Now, I saw this film a couple of days after release. Yes, it's quite late, so I'm actually making this less of a review and more of kind of my thoughts. Just thoughts on MCU and thoughts of Infinity War itself. I remember watching the first Iron Man, 10 years ago now, and here we are with the promise they'd made since the first Avengers that we were going to have this epic face-off between Thanos and the characters that we've grown and we've grown to love. Firstly, I kind of really want to say that Infinity War, it's not much of a war. It's more like a few battles, but the stakes, the atmosphere does feel like that, like a war. It does feel like everything, all these little battles, all these little storylines, narrative threads have all kind of woven up to get to here. At least that's the way I see it. I understand that a lot of people view MCU films as like relatively hollow. I don't know. Look, I personally think that these characters have depth. I did a whole essay on Captain America. Yes, I'm that kind of film student. He has had an arc that's carried through 3 films. And now in Infinity War, we see the things that happened there reflect everything that's happened in his movies, or has happened in the movies that he started. That's Infinity War. Infinity War is a culmination of storylines, Iron Man's, Thor's, Captain America's, Hulk's, their storylines interwoven to this one of the final movies of the MCU. Phase 1, Saga 1, sorry. I can't say this is a good standalone film because, I mean, you could enjoy it as a bombastic, action-packed film. That's fine, but you're not really going to understand the gravity of having all these characters together without seeing the previous films. Infinity War pulls off what moviegoers never thought was possible. A cinematic universe. Look, the best way to think about it, and I'm surprised not many people will see it this way, is that Infinity War is almost like this, like I say semi-finale because there is the grand finale, which will be the Avengers Fall. We can think that as a whole is a grand finale, but it is a grand finale or a season finale. These films are a weird episodic structure. It is. You're watching episodes that kind of like Black Mirror can stand alone as their own films or their own entries, but at the same time, they're also very episodic because all these films and all these characters interact. Meet my doggo. He's saying hello. Oh, good boy. I need to do a review, please. He's just going to stay here. There you go. Oh, man. Sorry. Anyway, if you have seen at least some or all of the MCU films leading up to now, you're going to see it. That's it. I don't need to recommend you go see this film. Am I going to tell you this film is good? Yes, it's great. It's fantastic. Infinity War is huge. The stakes are real. You know these characters. You know Steve Rogers, you know Tony Stark, you know Romanoff, you know Hulk, you know Thor, you know the Guardians. You know what they've been through leading up to this point here, and you know what this film is going to be about because of all the hints those films have dropped. Thanos. What they've said about this film being Thanos's film? Thanos's film is true. It is. He gets a full arc in this film because he deserves it as the main villain, one of the MCU and two of this film. Every other character's had that arc. Like they get, so to speak, smaller arcs in this film that kind of carry on what they've already been through. How crazy is that we've gotten a film that is expecting you to have seen, 16, 17 other films? Even James Bond doesn't expect you to do that. James Bond has been going for 50 years? 50 years. But you can just jump, you can watch any one of the James Bond films and still understand it. I mean, you could kind of say the same for Infinity War, but it's not the same. It's not the same. The emotional stakes are not the same. That's what I love about this film. It's because I'm already invested. I'm invested in all these characters. I already care. You don't need to set up anything more. And they know that. The opening scene of this film, which, spoiler alert, it does continue off straight after post-credit scenes of Ragnarok. It does not mess around setting up Thanos and his stake in this entire film. That's all we need. Because then we're playing with those stakes. And I think I have to give credit to this film. The Russo brothers have managed to balance, perfectly balance, perfectly balance having all these characters together and interacting those characters with each other and now Thanos. The interaction of these characters makes this film that much more enjoyable. It is not necessarily about seeing, CGI fights and explosions. That's great and that's awesome. When, the score kicks in, you're getting the epic Marvel battle scenes that you've grown to love seeing all these films. And I've grown to love. It's a spectacle. That's true. But it's an emotional spectacle. I'm saying emotional a lot because I knew the fact that they've called this Infinity War what the end was most likely going to be. It is genuinely traumatic. I ugly cried. I as much as I necessarily don't like to admit that, I ugly cried. It was shocking. It was traumatic. Everyone, and I think in any cinema, any session that you went to go see this film, or going to see this film, you could be in the most quiet session, you have some casual viewers. but you can hear a pin drop at the end. There will be at least one audible gasp, at least from someone else in the audience or from you. I'm stumped. Honestly, I'm stumped with the end. To walk out of a film feeling so somber, like out of an MCU film, I think makes Infinity War one of the best films I've seen ever. And yes, that is credit because of the other 18 films. Yes, that's what makes this film so amazing. A lot of people are going to see this film again as just another MCU film. Just another tentpole film, another blockbuster for the summer, another cash grab to sell toys. Look, I'm not about that. People go to these films and this ending and mourn the third act because it's so powerful, because those people can't say that these films haven't made us feel something. I think Infinity War plays on all those emotions, the character development, the character arcs. That's what it does. It is 2.5 hours of exploring and tying the knots off of these characters that we love, placing them in the situation where they have to make sacrifices for the ones they love and the characters that we love. And to see that sacrifice all come into play at the very end of the film, I can't describe it. Like, I'm usually quite eloquent when it comes to exploring films. Give me the theory of everything, give me La La Land, and I will... Where is it? Like, La La Land's back there, you can't see it. Give me any one of those films and I can look at this camera and I can talk for 3 hours. Like it's nothing. You've seen some cuts. It's because I've literally been struggling to talk about this film. I'm just gobsmacked that we're here. I will go see the film for a second time. I don't think I'll make another video of it, but I want to know what you guys think. I want to hear your comments. I really do. But I think the point I'm trying to make with Infinity War, I think it proves that it's more. It's much more than just tropes. It's much more than third act boss battles. It's much more than your male archetype superheroes. It's much more than what other people say. And look, you may view it differently, and I totally understand. I'm actually really keen to see how you view the MCU films. But for me, the Infinity War is the epitome of character development. That's it. I'm not quantifying that in, yes, they've managed to develop these characters over 10 years and this amount of hours. I don't want to quantify that. I mean, though I kind of have. But I just don't want to do that because me, personally, I feel how much grief there is at the end of this film. Yeah, that's a testimony to that. I'm filming this in my living room, so if you're wondering why dogs are entering in and out, I don't really have a great space for filming just yet. Side note, this has been a bit messy, and it's my first time. I don't really have a proper location yet or a mic to film this, but I decided to not wait any longer. I found some spare time, and I really want to just get this out. And I hope that you've related to my mindless rambling even just a little bit. I will be planning to do more reviews, only purely because, one, I want to, because I've been meaning to for years, but also because I've just seen Deadpool 2. I think that's going to be the next review I come out with. There's Han Solo standalone film coming out the week afterwards. I'm going to be reviewing a lot of franchise films. Trust me, I don't know if you can really see from where you are, but I love all films. I'm hoping to talk about a few other things coming up. I'm going to see how this goes. I would appreciate your feedback. Tell me what you loved. Tell me what you didn't. I will see you guys in the next video. All right, bye. I feel like I should say bye. How about I shamelessly show my dog off? And then, like, should I put you in a thumbnail? Would I get more views if... Yeah, oh, you're uncomfortable. Yeah.